Today we're talking to Lithium Universe, ASX code LU7, which has a market cap of around 20 million. Lithium Universe plans to construct a project in Quebec to assist Canada with its transition towards cleaner energy. We have with us today CEO Alex Hanley. Alex, welcome back to the network.
G'day, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Now, to kick things off, Alex, maybe for new investors, can you just provide us a brief overview of the Lithium Universe?
Yeah, Lithium Universe recently just came back onto the boards after a recompliance. The company was originally named Mogul Games Group, ASX ticker MGG. And Mogul Games back in earlier this year picked up a suite of projects across Australia and Canada, focused on lithium and rare earths.
And during the June quarter, you announced agreements to purchase 5 lithium projects across Canada and Australia. Can you tell us a little bit more about these projects?
Yeah, definitely. So the project that we have down in Tasmania is called Voyager, and it's a rare earth project right next door to AVX Resource, which have a resource of about 27 million tonne at the moment, and it's growing quite rapidly. So that's quite a large tenure down there in Tasmania. We've got a small lithium project over near Bald Hill in Mount Marion. And then the focus in Canada is within Ontario and Quebec. In Margot Lake in Ontario, we've got a small project about 27 square kilometres right next to Frontier Lithium's Spark and Pack deposits up in the Red Lake district. And then over in Quebec, all of our focus is currently within the Apollo Lithium project situated in James Bay. And the Apollo Lithium project, Paul, is situated right in the middle of Patriot Battery Metals Corvette and Winsome Resources Adina project, within 30 kilometres of both.
Alex, I interview a lot of similar sort of companies, and this question comes up all the time. And it's in regards to how are you going with those sort of regulatory approvals and permits for the projects? It seems to be a thorn in most companies' sides. How's that sort of look for you at the moment?
Yeah, no issues from our side, Paul. We've in Quebec at the Apollo project, we got all obviously statutory approvals and First Nation approvals to get on ground for early stage exploration, and we've actually already gone down the process and got approved for a drill permit as well. So it shows that it's quite a well-oiled machine over in Quebec, and we've got everything we need to get going.
And tell me a bit more. Obviously, a new company with a new sort of mission. How are the management and operating teams now been finalised? Yeah,
that's right. So, Paul, we've been casting the net quite widely with our dream team. Obviously, spearheaded by Iggy Tan, as you know. So, Iggy obviously spent his time at I suppose making a name for himself at Galaxy Resources, where he spearheaded that company up to about a $2.5 billion valuation when it was merged with Orocobre. Now, during his time, he built the first fully vertically integrated large-scale mine to refinery project, encompassing the development of the Mount Cattlin project in WA and the Jiangsu lithium carbonate plant in China, which was a big step in the early stages of the lithium industry. So we're in good hands with Iggy, and we've brought onto the board 2 key appointments, being Dr. Jingwan Liu. Jingwan actually built the Jiangsu lithium carbonate plant for Galaxy and continues to consult as an international technical expert for lithium downstream processes. So he's a great appointment. And finally, Pat Scullin. Pat ran Greenbushes as general manager for 25 years. So we've got everything from exploration all the way through to downstream and then final market. So we've then assembled a very, broader team encompassing Terry Stark, former GM of operations with Galaxy. We've also got John Loxton, who built the Jiangsu lithium carbonate plant for Hatch. So again, we've got all the different facets covered, Paul, and we're ready to get going.
Great. Let's move on to Iggy, who's obviously the non-executive chair. Now, Iggy has a grand plan for a concept that the company is calling the Quebec Lithium Processing Hub. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, definitely, Paul. So the the Quebec Lithium Processing Hub is targeted to really, I suppose, focus in on the current hole, which is in the Quebec or the provincial sort of lithium industry. There's obviously a lot of exploration attention currently going on in James Bay. With Corvette, with Patriot Battery Metals, 109 million tonne resource, and James Bay recent upgrade to 110 million tonne resource. So in terms of perspective, both of these resources are number 1 and 2 biggest spodumene resources in the Americas and in the top 10 globally. So there's bound to be more exploration, I suppose, exploration success in James Bay. But there's currently no production or processing within the province itself. So it's really forcing juniors and explorers to look downstream a lot earlier than what they would have had to do before. It's not as simple as what we have in WA, where you can sign up a very easy offtake and send that over to China for processing. There was a recent mandated divestment by Cinnamine when they had equity within Power Metals Corp. And they also sort of signed off the offtake agreement there. So we're seeing almost like the government's forcing a downstream solution onto junior miners, Paul.
Yeah, and I have to agree. You mentioned James Bay. I think it gets people's attention because James Bay has been in the press quite a lot recently, as you alluded to. So let's just moving on. You had some recent news out. You've appointed Primero Group as a lead designer of the concentrator engineering study. Can you comment on the significance of this announcement?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. So Primero have come on board, very happy with their appointment. We're working with the guys in WA. We've also met with the Montreal office. The Primero Group themselves have sort of defined themselves as the lithium experts when it comes to concentrating and mining. They've got experience at Bald Hill. Also Covalent Lithium's Mount Holland project, and obviously the famous Pilgangoora. Over in Quebec, they're working with the James Bay project run by Allkem as well. So there's good pedigree there with Primero Group, and what this means for Lithium Universe is we're already looking at what we're going to design over there.
And what advantages does Primero bring to the process?
A lot of that experience. We have an existing design. As I said, Iggy built the Mount Catlin project in WA. We're going to look at a very similar design, a 1 million tonne per annum mining operation, then going, I suppose, an output of 140,000 tonne per annum of spodumene con. Now, because the region is becoming typical for coarse spodumene, we're going to focus on a very simple 4-stage crushing circuit, moving through a dense media separation circuit as well. So it's very well defined what we want to design, and Primero are the experts in up-to-date technology.
And would it be fair to say, you appointed Primero, but at the end of the day, they wouldn't engage with you unless they believed in the project?
Yeah, that's right. It's a two-way street, as you say, and we've had them on board over the last couple of weeks, and the guys really like the story. They like what we're trying to do within the region, and they're like us. They're just keen to build projects.
And look, following on from the Primero Group coming on board, you just announced the appointment of Hatch. Why is Hatch such a key appointment?
Similar to Primero, Paul, Hatch has more than 70 years of experience of project delivery experience in Quebec, and really has pioneered the use of modular construction up in Quebec, and what will most likely be used up in James Bay. So they know the environment remarkably well. Also, Hatch actually built the Jiangsu lithium carbonate plant, or designed the lithium carbonate plant for Iggy back in the day. A lot of the designs that we're actually going to use in Quebec are built off that successful project. And as you may know, Jiangsu, when it was commissioned, it was the biggest lithium carbonate project in China, but still remains to this day as, I suppose, a benchmark for quality output and total sort of design.
And so what exactly are Hatch working on for Lithium Universe?
Currently, they're looking at a location study for the refinery, where that will, or most likely is to be situated. There has been a few companies that have done this process before, but we're going at it with new, fresh eyes and trying to understand the best location. We'll start early stage design as well, using conventional kiln technology for the conversion of spodumene, and then sulfuric acid sulfation as well. So it's very typical and very similar to what Iggy built at Jiangsu lithium carbonate plant in China.
Yeah, and as you said, the credibility that Hatch brings to Lithium Universe, well renowned. A number of other clients I know use Hatch in the market. Just take notice when someone like that is involved with a company. So I totally get that. Alex, final question. I know you've had a busy few months, but we can't finish without asking this question. What can investors, or what should investors be looking for over the coming months?
I think, Paul, we've made it very clear. We don't mince our words when we say what we want to do. We've been very clear on our vision to the market, and now it's time to sort of put all those words into action. So we've got the team, we've got the strategy. Now it's starting to put all the puzzle together.
Alex Hanley, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for your time today.
Cheers, Paul. Thanks for having me.